I know. That's why I wasn't looking at you.
My brain was going to explode.
Listen.
With the stupidity of this person, with the ignorance of this woman, with the ridiculousness of this individual.
The gall.
With the gall of this girl. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another Chisme Chronicles podcast.
Episode 24.
If this is your first time here, my name is Roman, and I'm here with Kaylee the Bandit.
A.K.A. Crazy Kaylee, a.k.a. Klepto Kaylee.
Let's go. And Kaylee, tell them what we do on the show.
So, on this podcast, we do a lot of Am I the A-hole Reddit stories. That's kind of probably half of our content.
Ballin'.
Every once in a while, we mix it up. We venture onto other subreddits.
Gotta mix it up.
Like Today Effed Up or Mildly Infuriating, Mother-in-Laws from Hell. I don't know if we've done that one.
All the good stuff.
Yeah. And sometimes we do shorter content, like some funny tweets or just kind of like little pictures that we react to, stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
All good things.
So if you guys like that kind of content, and you like us, stick around because it's gonna be a wild ride. It's gonna be wild.
Always top tier content.
Yeah. Yeah, stick around. Hopefully you guys will like it. And today we're just doing stories that we found very interesting from the Am I the A-hole subreddit. So if you guys like it, hopefully you'll give us a thumbs up and you'll consider subscribing. Let's rock and roll. Like I haven't even had my coffee yet. Imagine if I did. I'm like, let's go. Let's rock and roll. Story number 1.
There's like 3 energy drinks on the table right now. I'm just kidding.
So this episode is sponsored by Monster, Bang, Red Bull,
and Celsius.
Yeah. Don't forget to drink water. After having like all this like caffeine and like sugar.
Man.
So stupid. What's wrong with you today? Okay, let's rock and roll. Here we go. Am I the a-hole for making my family leave a free vacation? For some backstory, I, 37 male, do not get along with my brother, 42 male. He has a personality that I do not mesh well with, and ever since we were kids, he has kept his distance from me. He is this way with everyone in our family. It has always felt like there is a cold sheet of glass between him and everyone else. Like he is there with us, but completely inaccessible, and honestly, it creeps me out. He does not laugh with us. He does not cry at funerals. He does not share his achievements, and he does not congratulate anyone on theirs, choosing instead to send a card or a gift. Him and I grew up in the same house together, and I don't know a thing about him because we never talked, but somehow he knows what my hobbies are, and for birthdays and Christmas is always able to figure out a good gift. So I feel deeply uncomfortable with seeing him in our family gatherings because he very much feels like a stranger who is only there because he pays for things and somehow knows everyone's business, but nobody knows theirs. My brother does very well financially, and he makes it his business to plan and execute family trips. He says he does it because it was mom's dream to see the world before she had her family. But I always felt like it was more about him rubbing his wealth in our faces, and that's just an excuse. Our family was poor growing up, but he was very smart and managed to get a job straight out of college and climb the corporate ladder extremely quickly. So now he has a ridiculous income that he is always flaunting. He is always offering to pay for something or loaning money to our family members, and it feels to me like he wants to hold the money he offers over people's heads so they can't disagree with him and make them feel obligated to come on these trips. Somehow, nobody but me sees how manipulative this whole situation is. This year, he took us to Moldova, and my family was very excited, but at arrival, I found that instead of getting us a suite with 2 beds so my daughter could be supervised, he was planning to give her a separate room. Without discussing it with me, he decided to try and parent my daughter, and I told him he was hugely overstepping to think he could give my 16-year-old a room of her own, and that I don't know what he was thinking to go over my head like that. He said that he felt like she was old enough and didn't realize it would be a problem, but he didn't apologize. So I told him that I was leaving if he didn't apologize for what he had done. He didn't, so I made my wife and daughter leave with me. My wife and daughter think I was being selfish and are angry at me for ending their vacation. They don't understand that I was just trying to protect our family from the overreaching arms of my brother, but I feel unsure of it Now that time has passed, and I do wish we could have enjoyed the vacation, as these family vacations are usually the only ones we get. So I ask you, Reddit, what was wrong for standing up to my brother? And then he says, I realize that none of you are taking my daughter's safety into consideration. A young girl in a foreign country on her own is in no way appropriate. If I'm the A for caring about my daughter, then that's fine. I'll be the A.
Oh my gosh, this is the most self-righteous, jealous like poster ever.
Dude, I don't even know what to say. Like,
yeah. No, I don't know. Like, obviously, okay. For
like
the room
against
situation.
him, like against the poster, you know, against OP. Like,
you don't know what to say against
like
him?
I just like what I'm saying is like he's wrong. OP is
yes,
wrong. Yeah,
yes,
and I'm
yes,
just
yes.
like I have so many thoughts that are like,
yeah. I feel like you got to break it down. I feel like the most simple one is the room situation. First, right? It's like the brother, the rich brother. I'm gonna call him the rich brother, and then OP, right?
Yeah.
The rich brother, he offered a room to this 16-year-old girl. 16, I understand, is young and whatever, but she's not a child. Like, you would think that it would be nice for her to have some privacy, to change, and you know what? Like, also that is like your brother's treating, like, that is luxury treatment, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
To go on a vacation, like, have your own room at 16 years old. Like, that was a nice treat from the rich
And
brother.
it's probably an adjoining room. Or across the
really
hall.
close.
Yeah, like
it's her own room. It's not like she's in a separate hotel or something, you know, or like her own like cabana or something crazy. Like she doesn't need constant supervision. You're gonna walk her to and from that room every time you guys go out together.
Honestly, like when I was reading that and he said that, I immediately was thinking that like he was having like some like predator thoughts about his brother. Which, like, why? Like, I mean, like that's just like he's got so much, like, he's got a lot of negative feelings towards his brother.
Yeah.
And like I just like felt like he was imagining something like that.
I don't even know.
I don't know. Like some people commented something similar, but
he said something about his brother parenting the daughter, and
Yeah,
it's like, how is the room thing? Unless we could be missing context. He could have not included that. But how is the room thing parenting? By like telling her that it's okay to stay in a room or something?
Yeah, that's what I understood. Which is not parenting.
That's
like,
not parenting.
Like you said, like, hey, you're 16 years old. You want to like have your own room and change, and like you're not going to change in front of your dad.
Yeah, that's
so
like,
or
to have to go hide in the bathroom. Like, yeah, it's nice to just have your own space. Like, I'm sure she has her own room at the house, or I, you know, if they're lucky enough, like she has her own room at her house or whatever. So this is just like not super far off.
Yeah,
just
and like the mom. Okay, I'll go back to what I wanted to say at the beginning. Is like, okay, this guy, we don't know what's going on with, not that there's necessarily something wrong with him, but he could just be very, very introverted. Like he could just be like a person that like, hey, I feel socially awkward even around my family, especially if like when I started feeling a certain type of way growing up, and then they started, or my brother was like, oh, he's weird. Oh, he doesn't talk to us, or he doesn't share. And then they started giving him the freaking fuchi, the stink eye. Yeah. Like, I know, fuchi.
Yeah.
So obviously you're going to kind of like retreat more and more. But he's obviously there for his family,
and he's obviously still making the effort. It's like, oh, he always manages to know my hobbies and send me gifts.
Like, sorry that your brother knows you.
He's trying to like be nice, and that's so. He has the money. He's reaching out. Like, that is his way of being able to reach out and be like, I still care about you. I still care about your interests, and I love you. And here's a gift.
Yeah, like what if his love language is gifts?
Yeah,
you know what I mean. That's one of them, right? Like, gifts or gift giving or whatever. Yeah. And like, okay, but no one's asking. The brother OP's like, oh yeah, he knows everything about us, and we don't know anything about him. Okay,
ask him.
Maybe you should. Exactly. Maybe you should ask him. Maybe you should talk to him, because in his own way, he knows the things that you like, so he wants you to feel like appreciated or loved. And he's like, oh, when we accomplish something, he doesn't say congratulations, he sends a gift. Like some people don't say anything or give anything.
And also like a gift, it's like sending a gift is in a form like saying congratulations. Like if you graduate or you get married or something, like, and somebody sends you a gift, that's a congratulations. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and maybe it's different, maybe he wants to hear it or whatever, but I don't know, if he's like already this big of an asshole towards his brother, like maybe you don't deserve to hear it.
Yeah.
Also, it's like the comment of oh, like planning the trips, and like the rich brother planning trips feels like he's flaunting his money.
No, that sounds like you're jealous.
That sounds like you're really jealous.
Look, this person, somebody commented, and I thought their comment was awesome. They said, you're the a-hole for literally disliking your brother just because he sucks at being an expressive person.
Yeah.
Also, he apologized for accidentally stepping over a boundary. Or I don't know if he apologized, but he said like, oh, I didn't know that was like an issue.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, maybe that's his way of apologizing. Not everyone apologizes the same way, you know? And then he goes, not even taking the time to understand maybe why he acts the way he acts, which he doesn't owe an explanation to you, which is what we were just saying, right? Mm-hmm. Sounds like you have some insecurities manifesting as internalized bias or jealousy.
Towards his
OP just makes, just because he makes more money. Or you just have a different way of registering what a real family member would do as a form of love and affection. Everything that we're saying, you know? Mm-hmm. And I thought, I think this one was kind of funny. He is always offering to pay for something or loaning money to our family members. And it feels to me like he just wants to hold the money. So he's basically talking about that, about the whole manipulative thing. Like the guy, then he's basically saying the love language thing that we were talking about, and he says y'all were broke, he made money, and he values family. Like they were broke, they didn't have any money, he made money, he's like, I love my family, so I'm gonna share my wealth with them. Like Moldova, dude. Like, I mean, I don't know if they're where they're in, but like what country they live in. I mean, it could be the US or something, but
but to fly everybody anywhere,
fly everybody anywhere
is going to be, if we live in Arizona, if I want to fly my whole family to freaking Wisconsin, it's going to be really expensive. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it doesn't matter where you're going. Plane tickets are expensive, and then lodging is expensive. You know, like, I don't know. And then also, like, food, it really threw me.
I mean, maybe not. Yeah, maybe not,
but still. And like another comment that threw me off was him saying that like basically the whole family agrees that he's like weird or whatever, but then also he goes, oh, like I'm the only one that sees, he admits, I'm the only one that feels like the overreaching arms. It makes me question if the whole family really does feel that way about his brother, that he's weird or whatever.
Yeah, I mean,
or if he's just like putting that out.
I think he's the only one.
Yeah,
he's the only one that feels that way about his brother.
And he's trying to like validate himself. You know, because like obviously everybody does awkward stuff, but I feel like in general, and then they're going to be met with certain reactions. But I feel like if he is feeling this bias towards his brother, then he can take those like reactions from awkward situations or whatever and be like, see, I knew people thought he was weird too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It definitely like, I mean, they're older already, you know, they're like 37 and 42. Like,
how sad to live with this much freaking hate in your heart.
Just building up. Yeah. Like, I'm just building
up. For your brother.
Like, growing up with I don't know him. Yeah. Like, okay, well, what if you thought you were too cool for school?
Yeah.
What if he was a quiet guy?
There's no way you can sit down and have a conversation with him and still come out of it feeling like you don't know him.
Yeah.
You just don't talk to him.
You don't care. He doesn't care. Mm-hmm. He's talking about how the brother doesn't care about the family. Well, if nobody else feels that way and you're the only one, it's clear that you don't care about your brother. You don't care to know him. You don't care to connect with him.
Yeah. Also, he makes it sound that back to the hobbies thing, because it just hit me again. It's like he makes it sound he's like, oh, he somehow knows all of my hobbies. He's making it sound like he's like stalking him or spying on him. It's like, no, he just pays attention because he probably loves you. Yeah. Like he probably hears you talk about this stuff.
Totally.
Or listens to you or whatever. And he's just like, oh, I'm going to remember that so I can buy him a gift in a couple months.
Like totally. Like what if they're all hanging out, right? In having dinner.
He's like, yeah, I just went rock climbing last weekend. And he goes, oh my God, rock climbing.
Yeah, my brother likes rock climbing. Yeah. Totally. I totally do.
And he's like, this man's like stalking me. He follows me around. He got a PI.
I know. He is a PI.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I was like reading it, I was also getting that. Like, so why is he trying to make him sound like this evil, like an evil stalker?
He doesn't cry at weddings.
Yeah.
He's making him sound like a serial killer.
1000%.
Because obviously as you read it, like
I was getting more emotions.
Context. Yeah, as you read it, I was getting more context. But my first thought, I was like, oh, maybe he's like a sociopath or something.
Like, you know what I mean? That's the vibe. That's 100%.
Yeah,
I forgot. I wanted to mention that too. When I was reading, I was like, he's trying to paint the picture that his brother is like a sociopath.
Yeah.
Because everything he was saying.
And he just loves him and has money.
Yeah, he's like,
poor guy.
I mean, my brother doesn't talk to me, but like, I mean, I love him, or I enjoy listening to when he's talking. Like, he's probably over here like, oh yeah, my brother, he's funny.
Yeah.
Like,
he's just a quiet dude.
He's just a quiet dude. He's just chilling, having the time of his life, and like trying to share his wealth and whatever, bless his whole family.
Yeah.
And the brother's always like, he's evil.
It's so upsetting. That's so upsetting.
That's messed up. That guy is and then what's so dumb is like everyone was telling him he was an asshole for like so many reasons.
Yeah.
For so many reasons, like basically all the reasons we're talking about.
Yeah.
And then he goes, if no one is talking about the safety of my daughter, if I'm going to be the A, then so be it.
He's like so self-righteous, like such a white knight. Yeah.
Idiot.
So annoying.
You are the a-hole.
Okay. Let me see. Okay. Story number 1 from me. Number 2 in general. Am I the a-hole for not telling my sister? I have to get through this without messing up. I'm going to start over.
We're starting a GoFundMe page for Hooked on Phonics.
For Hooked on Phonics.
for what do we say?
Dude,
for 10 easy payments at $49.99. Tú puedes hablar español or inglés a 1-800-222-2222.
Dude, okay. I'm going to get through this. I'm going to get through it. You guys, have faith in me. I'm feeling the negative vibes. That's why.
Yeah.
Okay. Am I the a-hole for not telling my children my sister and her husband's lifestyle is wrong? My sister, Katie, married her school sweetheart, John, as soon as they were both old enough to do so. She went and studied medicine while he joined the army. John finished his time in the army around the time their first daughter was born. Because he was unemployed while Katie was working, he stayed home with the baby while she went straight back to work. Fast forward a few years, and Katie is now a senior surgeon and the head of her department. They've had a little boy and another little girl, and John still hasn't gone back to work, because Katie makes more than enough money for the family. I'll be honest, I don't approve of this. I'm a stay-at-home mom to my 2 kids, and while I don't think all women should be, I feel happiest being a mom and don't think I'd enjoy anything else. My husband loves providing for us, and I love taking care of them all. I don't really care about gender roles, but I can't help but think John is taking advantage of her. He's a very fit and able-bodied man and learned lots of skills in the army, according to Katie. So there's no reason for him not to be working rather than putting all the financial burden on her. I don't have much respect for a man who lets a woman who'd just given birth go straight back to a complex and physically/mentally demanding job, as though her body hasn't already been through a lot. He could have just gotten a job for a few months and then let her have some maternity leave so she could bond with their babies. We live quite close to them, and our kids go to the same school. My kids have started asking why Uncle John doesn't go to work like their dad. I had to explain that different people have different lifestyles, and we should have to be kind and accept it. But I did tell them that it isn't right, and that their father should provide and protect his family like Dad does. They also asked why John has painted nails, and then in parentheses, he lets his daughters paint his nails and do his makeup. I don't have a problem with this, but I recognize that society does, so I just said that the girls were being silly. Unfortunately, this got back to their cousins, who told Katie, who phoned me and shouted at me, demanding I keep my nose out of their business and saying their children wouldn't be playing with mine anymore. I'll admit that I shouldn't have said anything to the kids. They're too young to understand, but I told her that one day she would realize I was right and that she had wasted her life on a man who has leeched off of her. She got even angrier and hung up the phone and blocked me on everything. Am I the asshole? Need a minute.
I needed you to stop reading every 25 seconds. I needed you to stop reading.
I know.
My brain was going to explode.
I know. That's why I wasn't looking at you.
My brain was going to explode.
Listen.
With the stupidity of this person, with the ignorance of this woman, with the ridiculousness of this individual,
The gall.
with the gall of this girl, with the ignorance of this individual.
Just keep going.
Yeah.
This is the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Dude. Okay. Obviously,
It's too much for me to.
It's too much.
I'm out.
It's already so stupid. Hi guys, welcome to the Crazy Kaylee podcast.
You're like, I'm here. Welcome to Crazy Kaylee's channel. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Everything she said that was wrong, according to her, is exactly what she's living.
It's the
Help me.
It's the fact that she doesn't see it.
Help me understand
It's
this.
the fact that she's like, oh, he's a stay-at-home dad. I'm a stay-at-home mom.
Okay, but that's okay.
That's okay.
But also, I don't. I'm not tripping on gender roles. That's
Yeah.
okay. I mean, do whatever you want. But he is a man.
Yeah. Also, that's all of what it was. And also, I feel like this woman doesn't understand. And obviously, you don't have to understand, right? But like, I've watched medical shows, and like I know, like I feel like this is maybe general knowledge. But if this woman was going to school to be a surgeon, and then she right after she finished school or whatever, had a baby, she didn't have a choice. If she wanted to keep that career, she had to go back to work right away. This is not like the husband, and also she doesn't know their business, so she's just assuming that the husband was like, no, you have to go back,
Yeah, she doesn't know anything.
She has to go back, or maybe she even really, really desperately wanted to go back.
And I will say this, okay? Salaries are gonna range depending on what kind of specialty you have in as a doctor.
Yeah.
But easily, if you're
Head surgeon of her department.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I don't know how much she's making, but I know, okay, for a fact that if you got a good specialty, you're making $500,000.
Yeah.
You're making $500,000.
Yeah, that's enough to support you and your husband and your 3 kids.
A marriage, in my opinion, is about being a team.
Yeah.
And my wife and I we don't have 2 bank accounts. Like, we have 1 bank account. All the money goes in there. Whatever she brings in, whatever I bring in. We are a team that we're building a future as best as we can for ourselves and to set up our kids and whatever. If she was making $500,000 every single year, you best believe I'm going to be a stay-at-home dad.
Yeah, because now you're a better team, because now you can raise your kids like
if
whatever.
that's something that that person specifically cares about,
Yeah.
which we do.
Yeah.
We both work from home.
Yeah.
But we like juggle, because like sometimes like I'm out in the field, I work for myself, and like I'm out and I got to do stuff, and then so we will get somebody to like sometimes we'll get an in-home babysitter for a little bit, and so because we don't want anybody to watch our kids, and the babysitter she's a little crazy.
It's me on the babysitter.
And there's also another one.
Yeah,
there are 2, but one is crazy. But like. So because that guy, they could be like, you know what, he could say, you know what, I want to go work.
Yeah,
I want to go work, and I want to go make $70,000.
Yeah.
But daycare is going to cost us $30,000.
Yeah.
Or depending on, I mean, you could pay $2,000 you could pay $1,500 a
Daycare's
kid.
expensive.
A
Yeah.
kid, you know what I mean? You could pay, you take both of them. Cool, you get a discount, $2,500.
Mm-hmm.
Do the math.
Yeah, that was the other
That's
thing I was gonna
$30,000 a
say
year.
is like maybe like for example, if whatever, in this situation one person's making $500,000 and the other person just wants to work, that's also fair and valid. But if you don't have to, and this is a better situation for you, then whatever. Also, she's forgetting this man is retired from the military. He's also still bringing in money.
Well, he's not retired.
He retired from the army.
I understood that he just got out. Oh, maybe he
Well,
did.
that means retired.
No.
I thought if you do like 4 years and then you're technically retired.
No,
So.
you have to be in there for 20 years to get retired and get paid.
I thought you. Oh, I don't know. I guess.
No. You're just not enrolled in the military anymore.
Oh yeah, she should finish. I think she.
Yeah,
should
so he
finish the time.
could have done 4 years or 5 years or something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then she went to medical school, and then now she has a job, whatnot.
Yeah. Also, like, who's to say that he wasn't supporting them while she was in school
no,
or something?
I'm sure he was, because that he was in the military.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
look, I'm gonna go to the military, right? And I'm gonna get this job. I'm gonna be bringing in. I'm gonna support us so that you can go. This is you want to be a doctor.
Dream. Yeah.
I don't want to be a doctor.
Yeah.
You do.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll do this. I'll support us right now. Then you can go do that. And because it sounds like they had a baby, right?
They had a baby right as soon as he was done in the military, and she was obviously still in school. That takes forever.
And so we don't know how old the kids are, but like my kids aren't in school yet.
One of them at least is in school. Oh no, she said my kids go to the same school her kids go to.
Okay. Yeah, so like he could, if the kids are gone, from 8 to 3 or whatever, maybe there's something he could do. Maybe he could.
Dude, there's so much to do. He's probably cleaning the house. He's probably prepping meals.
There's so much to do.
Yeah, there's so much to do.
Like my wife has, my wife's a teacher, so during the summer, like she's basically taking care of everything in the house, and then I've also have had to play that role where I sold part of a company, and then I was kind of like hanging out for a little bit, and then I'm like, no, there's so much to do, like cleaning every day, cooking every day, like
all the dishes, all the laundry.
There's so much. Yeah, like I used to like not have an appreciation for that. Not that I didn't appreciate it. I was just like.
You don't fully grasp
you're
it.
on summer. You're like you're not working right now. Like and like we would like talk, not fight, but we like would talk about certain things. And she's like, dude, like. And then when I finally like did it for myself, I was like, oh damn, like there is so much stuff to.
Yeah. Also, you probably only get like 6 hours with all the kids because you got to think about the time to drop them off. I don't know how far they live, right? But even still, school's only like 7 hours or something for like a full day of school. So it's like even if he's taking half an hour to drop them off and then drive home and then drive back to the school, pick them up and then drive home again, totally. He's probably only getting 6 hours to do laundry, dishes. Like that's you got a full day now,
Dude, and yeah, what I was gonna say is what we were getting at earlier too is that we don't want anybody to watch our kids. We want to watch them ourselves, or unless when we have family like Kaylee and my sister-in-law that help us out sometimes. Like, okay, we're okay with them watching them. We just don't want anybody else to watch them.
Yeah,
it could be the same case for them. He's like, why would I go get a job making $70,000 to pay however much of that to daycare with people that you trust or you think are okay or were recommended when crazy things happen no matter what. Like I could just why? I could just watch it myself. What's the point?
Yeah.
My wife's making $500,000 a year.
Yeah.
And like we're fine.
They get to be in their own home. They get to eat their own food. They don't have to be, whatever.
Dude, that was just oh my god, I'm so pissed off. I love these stories. I love these stories, but they're also peppered with hate.
Yeah, because she's awful.
And what I hate so much is how we were saying every single thing that she's saying is wrong in her eyes is exactly what she's living.
Yeah.
Her sister works, her husband works. She watches the kids. Her brother-in-law watches the kids.
Yeah.
And then like plays with the kids and plays with the kids.
Yeah.
Like
also just the fact that she's being a hypocrite with that, but then also she's being a hypocrite in that she's like, I don't care about gender roles, but then she's telling her kids, oh, like the daddies are the ones that need to be protecting and bringing in the money.
You're an idiot.
Yeah, and also like the painting nails thing, like he sounds like a good dad. He's letting his two daughters paint his nails and do his makeup. Like obviously it's not like he's whatever, you know what I mean? Like that's not a big deal. It's probably like little kid nail polish and like they're hanging out with him all day. Like he sounds like a good dad,
Yeah, dude. Like the world is so different. Like where it doesn't matter whether you're a man or a woman.
Yeah.
Whoever's bringing in the cheese.
Yeah.
Then bring in the cheese.
Yeah.
Like whoever's gonna help us and set us up to have the best future.
Yeah.
Obviously back in 1753,
when women literally couldn't work or whatever.
Or also like I mean
things were just different.
Men were working the fields.
Yeah.
Like you work the fields because you use your strength. You have more strength. You use that strength and you're doing all this crazy manual labor. Like, I mean, that's,
yeah.
You know what I mean? That's just crazy.
She pissed me off because of the hypocrisy.
This hypocritic hoochie.
Just keep it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. No, she sucks. You are the asshole.
Oh my gosh.
What's the diagnosis for her on the scoreboard here?
Dude, I don't know.
She needs.
I don't know if therapy's enough.
Cognitive therapy.
Electromagnetic.
She needs lobotomy.
Yeah. She's just like
Modern day lobotomy.
Yeah. Oh man.
Damn. She needs SSRIs. Oh man.
But take it easy. Be careful. Oh man. All right. Here we go. Am I the a-hole for yelling at my wife after she blew up my phone with calls because of a fire? I work in a place where we're not allowed to have personal electronics on us at all. No phones, no smartwatches, no pagers. I've been working here for about 6 months, so my wife knows this. My wife knows this and understands that she should not try to contact me by my cell at work. Phones are dropped off in our locker, and I typically have mine on Do Not Disturb. Before this incident, my phone has never gone off in the locker before. Recently, there was a pretty big fire at a secondary work site that I do work at occasionally, but that day I was working at the main building. Local news covered the fire before I found out about it because, again, no electronics, plus the work we do isolates us a bit, so news travels pretty slow. There were a few casualties, a lot of seriously injured folk. My wife had been watching the news from home and started freaking out, I guess. She called me 20 freaking times, which, and I did not know this was possible, overrode my Do Not Disturb on my phone, and my phone was ringing for a while in my locker. In the middle of my shift, I got called into my manager's office and was chewed out and written up for my phone making so much noise. They told me to go take care of whatever it was making my phone go off before I went back to work. I won't lie, when I saw those 20 missed calls from my wife, I was seriously pissed off. Like I said, she knows not to try to contact me directly, and a citation hurts my chances of getting a raise or promotion. I called her back and she was sobbing and asking me if I was okay. I said of course I was okay and asked what the F was wrong with her to call me so many times. She was still crying and started talking about the fire. After that, I started half yelling at her about all the reasons it was dumb of her to call me. When I got home, she was super upset with me. I apologized for yelling, but she refused to talk. She's been very chilly the past few days and sleeping in our daughter's room. I know it was not the best decision to yell at her, but I still think my anger justified. Number one, she knows I don't work in the secondary work site very often. Number two, she knows that I can't be contacted directly and she could have just called the office. Number three, 20 calls is absolutely insane. Am I the a-hole?
Yes.
So,
yes, you are.
So I don't know how I feel about this one.
Okay.
I don't think okay, I'll say yes, you're the a-hole for like yelling at her and like all that stuff. Like obviously she was super worried about you and
she thought you died.
But I do think she messed up.
Yeah.
I think she messed up. Because like if you know that I don't have my cell phone, I'm never gonna have my cell phone. So there's no point in calling because I'm never gonna have my cell phone on me. No one in the office can have their cell phone.
I'm thinking he works at a nuclear plant. I'm thinking. By the way.
I honestly, my first thought was he's a correction officer.
Oh, I thought he was a nuclear plant.
So yeah, it could be like so someplace. So
yeah.
So like you're calling me, but I'm not gonna be able to get it. Like, yeah. So if you know that, then you can call the office.
Yeah.
So I was just kind of like.
But if you literally think that your like husband or whatever just died, like your judgment's gonna be clouded. Or was injured in a fire, because my brain immediately goes like, oh my god, he could have died. He might have died. There was a fire in this building. There is a non-zero chance that he is dead. You know what I mean? Like your brain is just gonna, and then the more calls, obviously she's wrong for making the calls, I guess, in this scenario, right? But the more calls you make that are going unanswered, the more you're gonna just feed into this thought of like, he's not answering, he's dead. You know what I mean?
Okay, but why not call the office though?
I don't know, because she freaked out, I guess.
I mean, yeah, if
she should have called the office too, but also why not just turn your phone off? Just turn your phone off.
Yeah, that's a good point, because like there's no point in having your phone on do not disturb if you're never going to get it until you're able to get it.
It takes 3 seconds for your phone to boot back up. Why are you so angry at your wife? Turn your phone off.
Yes, 1000%. I mean, I have no rebuttal for that. That's correct.
That made me angry.
That's correct.
She's such an idiot. She's calling me. My phone, now I'm written up. Just turn it off. I bet you they told him that in the meeting too. I bet you they told him, why don't you should turn your phone off.
It seems like Kaylee read the manual.
That made me so upset.
No, I agree with that.
Yeah.
No, you're right about that. Like, there's absolutely no point to have it on Do Not Disturb. You're actually just causing a bigger energy crisis because you're wasting cell phone battery that then you're gonna have to recharge. You're all like, yes.
I was just listening. Yeah.
And also deforestation.
Dude, it's like it takes, because like I get it. Like, obviously, if this was freaking 2001 and it takes your freaking, I don't know, BlackBerry 17 business minutes to boot back up after you turn it off, then it's like, I don't want to wait for that. Sure, I guess. Right?
17 business minutes.
17 business minutes.
So it'll only take 17 minutes between the hours of 8 and 6.
Unless you're on lunch.
Then it'll boot up in how fast?
57 minutes.
Oh, you mean it's faster in business during business hours?
Slow. What? Unless you go to, it doesn't count as a business minute if you go on lunch, so it takes longer.
That's what I was saying. Like.
Oh yeah, during business hours.
Booting up during business hours 17, is faster.
Yeah.
Than booting up during lunch.
Mm-hmm.
Damn. I wonder if that's where, because remember like BlackBerry. If anybody saw the BlackBerry movie, we saw that one together, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you haven't seen the BlackBerry movie, you should watch it. That movie's freaking incredible.
So good. Also Tetris. You haven't watched Tetris, but you need to watch it.
I haven't seen that one yet.
It's so good, you guys. Please watch it.
Yeah. Freaking oh, sorry. Like my headphones are like pressing on my glasses, and then like they're hurting.
Oh, no.
Ay, caramba. Caramba.
But yeah, I don't know. That pissed me off. And then obviously, like, I understand like him being. I've given this grace to people before. I understand an immediate reaction of being upset that needs to be revised, right? But I understand, like, I just got in trouble and now I'm pissed off. You know what I mean? Like, I get that. But you need to like not be so reactionary
and taking the. It's okay to be mad. Sorry, I cut you off. Sorry,
no, you're fine.
It's okay that he's mad that because he just got written up, right? He got in trouble and stuff. But he should be mad at himself.
Yeah.
For like, damn. What I mean, if I would have turned it off, like they said in the meeting,
I'm sure they did.
This wouldn't have happened.
I'm sure they did. I know you're lying, Opie.
No,
if you just breathe a minute and you also take a minute to like sympathize with your wife, who I'm sure thought you were dead. I'm sure she thought you were dead. You know what I mean? Like, I'm sure she did. How do you not think that after 5 minutes when you've just heard of this disaster? And also it pissed me off that he's like, she knows I only work there sometimes. That means there's a non-zero chance that you are dead.
Dead.
In the water, dead.
Yeah. He's like, yeah, there's a couple casualties. Anyway.
I know. And she's like, watching the news, this is her personal 9/11. Like, she is so scared.
Yeah. I know. I could
She's
totally
probably got kids at home. Like, that's so upsetting.
No, I totally get like all of her feelings. I can imagine all the feelings that she was feeling.
Yeah.
I just think that like she could have. I feel like she made a mistake.
Yes.
But he made like, you know, he made the old. Tune in next week for the ultimate mistake. We'll have an ultimate mistake bit.
Ultimate mistake bit.
Just like a random I don't know, it just sounded cool. On this week's of ultimate mistake, lust, hatred, two brothers pinned against each other over money. You know, like
this is the Roman podcast now. Just dip.
What started off as a family trip in Moldova ended with early evacuation.
It's just all the story.
Next summer.
Tune in for Roman's show on
ultimate mistake. Gay. Damn. What happened? I blacked out. What happened?
Your next business venture is just being like a talk show host. Just like the next, what's it called? Or not talk show host, but what's it called?
Presenter?
No, who's that one guy that does all the talking for like the wildlife shows and stuff?
Wildlife shows.
He's always like, oh my gosh.
The British guy?
No. He's a black guy.
Snoop Dogg.
No.
Oh, it's because Snoop Dogg does a lot of funny like commentary.
No. For the wildlife shows, like this is Africa, and then it'd be like, oh, like there's like it's a guy.
But what's his accent though?
He has like an American
accent. Okay, okay. It's because like I mean a lot of them are.
I think his name starts with an M.
Morgan Freeman.
Yes, thank you. You're the next Morgan Freeman.
No, I haven't heard him doing those ones. It's because like a lot of them are like there's like a British accent,
voiceover or something.
And it's like a British accent. I was like, how do you know that's a black guy? You know, and it's like
no,
and here
it's because I knew who it was.
Serengeti, the proud hyena.
You can do it. I believe in you.
Which one? The Morgan Freeman
Any
one?
of those? No. Just like voicing for something.
Oh, like Snoop Dogg. It's because you're all the black guy, and I'm all Snoop Dogg. But you haven't seen the Snoop Dogg ones where he's like, okay, what do we got here? Cause he's like, okay, that's a hairy pig, and it's like that's a horrible Snoop Dogg. But anyway, it's like a javelina, you know.
Okay.
And then he just like says like super funny stuff.
I have not seen that.
You gotta watch those. They're
not
super
seen
funny.
That. No, I was thinking of Morgan Freeman.
He's like, oh, that's an alligator, cuz.
I have not seen that.
Yeah, they're super funny, and he's done some with Kevin Hart.
Oh, that's funny. Sounds funny.
Yeah, but anyways, where were we?
I don't know. We just went off for 10 minutes.
It was about. Dude, I totally forgot. Whose story were we talking about?
Yours.
No, it was mine.
Oh yeah, it was. The fire thing.
Yeah. I was just saying, like, yeah, I can't. Like, I said, I think she made a she made a smallish mistake of like. Calling his cell phone a bazillion times,
yeah. But also a mistake clouded in grief.
Yeah, it's not that she made a mistake. Because look, people are gonna say, if your wife you thought she was in a car accident, you were gonna call a billion times too. That's not what I'm saying.
No. It was for not having a moment of clarity to realize that was no good. That she needed to call somebody else,
like call the office, because you know that. He doesn't have his phone on him.
Her mistake was not having a moment of clarity.
And also, that's just a tiny one. Okay,
that's a tiny.
Most
mistake.
of it was his. Like obviously, because I think he did. What you brought up makes a lot of sense. He just should have had his phone off.
Yeah,
it doesn't even make sense to have it on. Do not.
He's
disturb.
An idiot loser, and he doesn't deserve a promotion. His verdict: no promotion. No promotion.
Pew, 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 pew.
Doesn't get to sleep in the same bed with his wife anymore.
Now you lost 3 ways.
Loser. Yeah.
All right, moving on.
Loser. Okay. Final story of the night. Okay.
Now you're all fired up.
Okay. I'm gonna do this, you guys. Have faith in me. Am I the a-hole for not letting our daughter move back home? My husband and I have 3 children, 25 female, 16 male, 13 female. Our oldest moved out 3 years ago with her boyfriend and got an apartment. They were together for 4 years before that, so it's not like she just ran off with some guy that she had just met. We supported her decision. She was old enough and working full time. The issue is rent in our area has more than doubled on average since she moved out. Their landlord raised the rent 40% in the span of 3 months, and they couldn't afford to stay there anymore. The issue is that they weren't exactly swimming in cash before that. They don't really have enough for the first, last, and security with the current market, and there's not much in that price range anyways. Their plan was to move in with her boyfriend's parents for a few months while they figured stuff out, but they won't let her come with. So they proposed an idea. She'd move back in with us, him with his parents, and they'd save up and be gone in 6 months tops. The issue is that my husband doesn't feel that me and my husband don't feel that this is appropriate. She's an adult now. She needs to take care of herself, not relying on handouts from her parents. She offered to pay rent, but we would only do that if she agreed to pay us the market average plus her share of utilities, which would mean that she couldn't save up like she wants to. Because we aren't doing that, she's been forced to share a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 other people, some of whom she finds sketchy. I feel for her, but I still think it's her responsibility. At this point, she doesn't call much anymore, and I'm worried that this may have impacted our relationship. Am I the a-hole?
Not the a-hole, but complete idiot piece of crap mom. I was trying to think of something worse. Yeah, no, like you're not an a-hole. You're just a complete.
You don't deserve a relationship with your daughter
trash
anymore.
Mom.
Trash mom, dude.
On this episode of Trash Moms,
parents who have been excommunicated by their children.
This episode is about the biggest bungholes ever.
Dude, I was so pissed off. Like,
comment down below.
She's 25. That's your kid. And you're just like, oh, you're an adult now, so I'm not going to be your mom anymore. I'm not going to support you in this hard time.
Okay. Yeah. It's about family.
Yeah.
Right? Family. You're supposed. You're not supposed to do anything. Like, I mean, or you know what I mean. But like, as a family, like, well, part of the meaning of family is like Ohana
means family. And family means no one gets left behind or forgotten.
Lilo and Stitch. Damn.
We need a Disney.
That was hard.
I know.
That was hard.
Bars.
Dude, I feel like I got a little emotional right now.
Just want
like,
to see it.
It's just like, dude, sometimes like movies, some of the movie lines, like, damn, they just hit hard.
That one's one of them.
No, that was awesome though, for real. But 100%, that's what that means.
Yeah,
that's what that means. I agree. That, I mean, you couldn't have said anything.
I agree with Stitch.
Sign out. And on that episode, on that note, yeah, dude. Okay, my parents have like, if I'm 36 years old, if something happened right now and like I didn't have another option, that I didn't want to like tell my parents, hey, can I go move in with you? Like, if I'm trying to figure something else out and I couldn't, and I asked my parents, hey, like, I need help with this.
Open arms.
1000% open arms. Like, not even a single doubt in their mind. Like, cool. Roll over here. Let's do it. What do we got to do to get you back on your feet?
You would pull up. There would be 2 bedrooms ready for you and your girls, and obviously my tia, and there would be a meal cooked, and there would be a game plan ready to happen that night.
Immediately. Like, because we're there to help each other out. And like, I mean, I would expect that if like, just like I know that they got me like that, that's like, I got my family too.
Yeah.
Like, that's why, I'm always willing to help out, like, people that are like kind of down, like,
that's why I took a charity case. I just moved in here 3 months ago, you guys.
That's why, if you need help.
No, I'm just kidding. No, but my family took care of my parents, like Grace. Also, my like, anytime I would call my dad and I'll be like, hey dad, I'm having a hard time with the move or whatever, because I've moved like 3 hours away from home or whatever. Immediately he's like, you if you want to come back home, you can.
Yeah. He's all okay, what time are you ready? And we have your enchiladas ready.
Your enchiladas are ready. Your bedroom's made up. Yeah.
Like, he's like, tell me when you're 30 minutes out so I can get in your bed and keep it warm, and then and then he leaves, and then you
dude, like, and that's what you do. Like, this is your daughter. She's 25 also.
Dude, even if she was older, 30,
if she was way older, but also she's 25. Like reasonably, most
just a baby.
People, she's just a baby 25-year-old girl.
Baby.
She's just a teenage 25-year-old girl.
I'm just a teenage 36-year-old boy.
That's what it feels like. I don't know. It also because, okay, the point I was going to make is that if she couldn't afford it, that would be one thing of like, we want to be able to take you back in, sweetheart, but also like, this is going to be really tough for us. So if you could help with the rent.
She offered.
Yeah, she offered.
And they hit her with you're going to have to pay market
price, dude. Because it doesn't sound like she can't afford it. That's not what it sounds like. And maybe, but we have to operate off the fact that it doesn't sound at all like the mom can't afford it. Like, it's going to be any kind of financial burden on them. She's just being
the biggest, baddest. She's like, I'm the biggest, baddest on the block. Yeah. That's sad though. That's sad. And what's so, I read another story. I'll say it for another, obviously I'll have it for another episode. Where the guy, man, I don't want to say it. I'll say
Teaser
it.
for the next one. Teaser for the next one.
Okay, I'll keep it. I'll keep it for the next one. But basically, and then they trip out when or they wonder why their kid is like, oh, she doesn't, and I think this may have affected our relationship. Yeah, you think?
It did.
What do you mean you think?
Yeah, it did. I hope she doesn't talk to you anymore. That's awful. You suck,
dude. Trash moms on this episode of Trash Moms.
Yeah. Also, it's like wait. What's the other point I was gonna make? Damn it. Oh yeah. How do you not have an extra feeling of clarity when she's like, I moved into a 2-bedroom apartment with 6 people. Okay, some of which sketch me out. I feel uncomfortable in my current living situation. How do you not go, please come home? I'm so sorry. I don't know what I was thinking.
The only scenario where I can imagine there being 6 people in a 2-bedroom and it's not really sketchy is a family of 6 people, or like 2 small families that are like trying to make it. You know what I mean? Like 1 room each, but they're families, not like 6 random individuals. Like if you're 6 random individuals, and you guys are all paying $500, like then there's some weird stuff going on.
Yeah, it's gonna be dirty. It's gonna be gross. You're gonna be sketched out. You don't have a place to like just like sit like and call your own, you know what I mean? Like I'm not even saying like a whole apartment, but I'm saying like a space. Like you don't even have a closet to call your own.
And like the boyfriend's parents, they're like, come back home, get kind of figure it out. And then go out there again.
Like, even, first of all, the parents, obviously everybody's situation is different, but I would hope that if they can afford it, that the parents would be like, just come home, no questions asked. It wasn't even that. She's saying, I'll be out of your hair in 6 months tops.
She had a game plan. She has a game plan to save up, because they can pay rent. It sounds like they can pay rent. Not an astronomical rent that went up 40%, but
40% in 3 months. That's crazy.
Finding another place they can pay. They just need to come up with like $5,000
and deposit.
So like in 6 months I'll save up. We'll both save up and I'll be out of here. And she's like, nope. You're an adult. You need to figure it out. But you know what I mean? Like, and you know what? Another thing is that I forget how different other people's lives are. Like, and we expect them to be like us, like the way that we grew up. Like, I have a really good friend that, he grew up like really, really rough, like with his dad and stuff. And he loves his dad and he loves his mom, but like, he basically like learned how to survive on his own since he was like 8 years old. You know what I mean? So it's like to the parent, they're like, yo, my parents kicked me out when I was 16. So, and I figured it out. And then so like they don't, it's like almost so to them it's like, you're 25, you got to figure it out. And we're like, well, my parents helped me and supported me all the way through college, and like, so I'm gonna do the same for my kid. And so, and if anything happens, we're all, because like we're in that like kind of culture, that family culture, and other people have a different family culture. I hear
you, but that doesn't even seem like that's the case with this one, because she's saying that the daughter moved out when she was 22 and that they supported her, because she said that she moved out with her boyfriend 3 years ago and she's only 25 now. So she was already like a not solid adult, really, not solid adult yet, but when you're 22, but I'm 21. But it's just like, so it's not like they kicked her out when she was 18 and was like, you're an adult, go figure it out. It's just that they just don't want her back anymore. Like, that's extra heinous. Like, my dad grew up super rough too, you know what I mean? Like, he figured it out by himself when he was really young. And my grandparents, his parents, are still like not in the most perfect, best situation, but they would accept my dad with open arms. You know what I mean? If he needed to move back in.
I mean, he's just a baby.
He's just a baby. He's just a 46-year-old baby.
No, he's just a teenage 46-year-old boy.
It's just like, it doesn't, I don't know. Like, obviously, financial situation you have to figure out, but if you guys are like on good terms, like relationship-wise, like you just take them back.
Wow.
Horrible. Pissed off.
This episode might be like the stories with like the worst people.
I
know we've had some bad ones, but like we've had some bad ones, some funny.
These
were like just like nasty, just horrible people. This is a trash people episode.
Trash people.
Cool. Well,
that
was fun.
Abandonment, all of them.
What is it?
Isolation
the verdict.
Island.
No, oh yeah, Isolation Island.
Yeah.
On this episode's verdict is you're trash.
Dumpster people.
Hefty people.
Oscar the Hefty. Oh.
The brand, the Hefty trash bag. Hey.
Oh.
See what I did there? See what I did there? Cool.
Yeah.
That's it, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for joining. Hope you guys stuck around all the way to the end.
Let us know if you're pissed off too.
Let us know who you thought was the biggest, baddest on the block. And we'll see you guys on the next episode. Peace.